Right now, we are joined by John Gordon, our extreme weather specialist, who is here.
This is extreme weather. Your title.
Extreme. They brought the big dog in.
Your title. When you look at this view, John, from your years, of course, leading the National Weather Service in Louisville, you've retired here recently. Now you've joined WHAS11. We thank you for being with us. Any tweaks to the forecast now you're seeing? Any big changes?
Yeah, so let's go through a few things, folks. So Adair County, let's talk to you. If you're south of the parkways, you're going to get almost an inch of ice. You're going to go from snow right now. You're changing right now. Glasgow, you're getting moderate sleet right now in Barron County. That's going to be changing to freezing rain, and it's going to be nasty all night long. So Mallory and I did a lot of chatting today, and basically the parkways is the magic line. Okay, use the Western Kentucky and the Bluegrass Parkways. If you're south of that parkway, it's a sleet event and a freezing rain event. And then that transition between the parkways and just barely into Louisville, right on the border, I mean, right on the edge, this warm layer is going to be close. It's going to be close. So what Doug said earlier is spot on. If you're down by Valley Station or Fairdale, you might only get 6 inches. But if you're way in the northern part, Prospect or Goshen, it could be, it's 2 numbers.
That's
maybe
just
12 or 13.
crazy to me that a storm this big is going to make such a difference.
Weather humbling.
In just our county alone.
Weather is very humbling. We're in sales, not production. We're trying hard to get this right. It's going to be close, but southern Indiana is going to be the winter chicken dinner. You're going to get between 12 and 17 inches of snow. So somewhere between Corydon and, let's see, Clifty Falls, Madison, over to Henry County, that's the bullseye.
Is that a winner, though, John?
No, unless you want snow. Paley Peaks, this is your big moment at Paley Peaks.
What kind of chicken dinner is that going to be?
It's not going to be good if you don't like snow.
Let's punch up our live radar if we can before we'll show the traffic. I do want you to take us through it because we've been talking about this break.
Yeah.
And is it going to come
there's
over
a few
Louisville
breaks.
or is that just south of us?
South of Louisville. There's a little bit of break right there. There's a little bit of break west of Nashville, too. But I looked at the radars in Springfield, Missouri, and Little Rock, and there's just more stuff. You look there, right, in the far western part of Kentucky, it's already filling in. And if you notice that pink color, pink is not good except on ladies. But anyway, that pink color is moving in right now, and it's going to be hammering in southern Kentucky.
Okay. And talk about how big this storm is, John. I mean, how far it stretches.
There it is. Look at this.
This is thousands of miles.
You talk about pink.
This is the winter storm that's going to impact us while we sleep, right?
Absolutely.
What's still to come.
I mean, it's coming into Washington, D.C. now. Look at that. All the way, Connie, it goes into Texas. It's out towards El Paso. That's a long way. And pink is really bad, all seriousness. So you've got this warm layer, this warm wind that's just off the deck. It is unbelievable. It's moving at 50 miles an hour up at about 6,000 feet, and it's taking that warm air and pushing it just over this Arctic air. So today, the Arctic air is 5,000 foot thick. By tomorrow morning, it'll only be 1,000 foot thick. And it's going to try to erode, and that's where the sleet and freezing rain come in. And we're pulling out our hair trying to get the exact line of where it's going to be. And I think it's going to be just on the edge of Louisville.
So this is why this is going to last most of the day through Sunday, because look how it stretches right there back down into Texas.
Right on this jet stream. That's along the jet stream, and there's this warm air pressing up against the cold air, and it's going to go on for on and on and on.
What do you think tomorrow is going to be, worst case scenario, if you will, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, worst case scenario is very heavy snow, including, here it is, Doug, here we go, thunder snow. Thunder snow is on the table, and there's actually thunder sleet. Thunder snow and thunder sleet are on the table tomorrow morning.
So that means we will hear thunder.
Possible. I'll give you a 30% chance. 30% chance.
Okay, what time can we expect thunder?
Tomorrow morning between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Really?
So we don't get it a lot around here, and it's not a common occurrence. And people will say to themselves, "Was that thunder I just heard?"
As rare as me getting a number at the lottery.
The answer,
it's very rare.
You think, why would we be having it right now, right?
I know, it's really hard to understand.
When you got up this morning and looked at the latest models and the trends and all that, what's the biggest thing that surprised you that's new about this storm today?
Yeah, we moved it a little bit north, maybe 20 miles. Basically, the forecast you saw yesterday is the same, except everything's about 20, 25 miles further north. In other words, up to the parkways. I thought just a couple of days ago that it was only going to get up to maybe Campbellsville, but it's going to go up a little bit further north. And you see that pink area, and it's going to be all night long. It's strange. It's in the middle of an Arctic air mass. All night long, it's going to be warming at about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet just off the surface. And where that warm layer ends up, the cold air is still pressing up against it. Where that happens is going to be the determining, because if you get a lot of sleet, we're going to look like egg on my face and say, where's all the snow? Because you got all the sleet.
Right.
So we're trying to get it right, folks.
Well, and you know, you feel bad for the folks that are going to hit that sleet and that ice.
There is no winter chicken dinner. This is a massive winter storm. I just hate the folks down south that are going to get the ice. Ice is devastating to infrastructure. It's devastating. It's crippling. I'll say this is a crippling ice storm in southeastern Kentucky.
Wow.
The National Weather Service at the news conference today was asked, when is it going to warm up? When are we going to go over freezing?
Yeah.
There wasn't a definite answer.
I have to ask Mallory. I haven't looked beyond today. Honestly, I do tell you this. This is two interesting things beyond this. Seriously, Monday night will be well below zero. Well below zero Monday night. And Wednesday, we could get a couple inches of snow.
Wow.
So, okay, is that going to, that's the first I've heard this. So Wednesday we could have some more snow. Is that going to complicate things?
No, it's just a very small amount, or maybe 1 inch or two. It's possible. We'll see.
Well, let's take a look at how our preparations have done on the roadways. We've got the 4 live views from Trimark. I'd like to punch up and have John address that. By the way, we thank you very much for watching on WHAS 11. This is our continuous winter storm coverage for you. We're on the air here with you until 8 o'clock with nonstop coverage. So, John, take us through that. You got the Gene Snyder and Preston on the upper left. You got I-65 in the fairgrounds, lower left, and there's Bardstown Road and the Watterson. Normally people are going, 100 miles an hour on the Watterson, and there's I-64 and Blankenbaker down below.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I want to give kudos to KDOT, NDOT, and Louisville Metro. They pre-treated, they salted, they brined. And Doug and I were talking earlier how I-71 was really melting quickly, so it's a good thing.
And when you're mentioning this, let's go ahead and say that LMPD just on X just posted saying that they have had at least one pass of all the snow routes. You're looking at it right now.
That's great.
So they're really doing a great job out there, and for the most part, when you look at all those pictures, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, the big thing is when you come off side streets, off the main streets, and people make turns, I saw multiple people driving to the station, sliding and slipping and going everywhere. It's when you go off side streets to main streets, you've got to slow down, folks.
Right.
If we go back to traffic camera, I do want to point one thing out about one particular roadway there. Lower left there. This is I-65 by the fairgrounds, which normally on a dry day is dicey. Look how fast people are going here. That's a pretty good clip. They have pretty good confidence on the roads there.
But the snowfall rates right now, it's snowing, but it's not really heavy yet.
Right.
When the heavy snow goes on, they're not going to be going that fast. Not a chance, and you know what? It ain't going to happen.
So remember, John, in Louisville now, how do you like your brine? With molasses.
That's right. Yeah, so, I mean, the rates are really determining. So when you, heavy snow, the definition is less than basically less than a mile, and you get down to a quarter mile. And when you get down that low, the visibility goes down. If you speed up, you lose visibility. It's just not good. There's nothing good that will come from it tomorrow.
Right. So even though you're seeing folks driving pretty well out there right now and not having a problem, or that's what we're seeing on those, even though you saw, folks sliding around, it's going to be a lot worse tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't have to be out, do not go out.
This is the appetizer. I'm being serious. This is a big, long, Doug and Connie are telling you is right. It's a long-term event.
Yeah, and it's going to be a different world tomorrow. And, we're not kidding about them adding molasses to the mixture there. We had the mayor on live for our live stream earlier, and Connie and I asked him about that. And he actually himself said he was going to have to dive in more on how it works.
Right.
What did he tell us?
He said that he had done a lot of investigation, like, in the last recent years, like, have we been doing enough? And they decided, let's try this because maybe it can help break down what's coming down out there.
Hold the brine together a little bit more.
Yeah, it holds it better together. Yeah, I've seen them use it up in Michigan and New York and Pennsylvania, and I'm all for anything. The city, right? The folks, the city is so much better prepared for a similar storm in '94. Right? I think so much better.
I think those of us who've lived through the '94 storm, the even though this was stressful because it's a massive storm and it's going to be a dangerous storm, there was a lot less stress knowing how much better we are prepared since 1994. Even though the stores got cleared out like they did back then. Nothing changed. Nothing changed with the run on bread and milk and peanut butter.
It never does.
Kroger
And vegetables were gone.
There was nothing in one aisle to Shelbyville Kroger. I mean, nothing. There was not even anchovy paste. Nothing.
Oh,
You're looking for anchovy
No, but I mean,
paste?
people send me pictures.
We've got a collection of pictures if we can punch them up. Our viewers have been sending me photos of shelves across Kentuckiana as they go into these stores. And, you know, they're trying to replenish it, but I would think over the weekend, you're not going to get many deliveries of these big trucks on the roads into these stores. So many.
A lot of them said they're not doing it after today.
I was talking to Brooke coming in, and she went to 3 or 4 different gas stations in Middletown to find gas.
Wow.
I mean, people realize you need weight in your car. If you're going to venture out tomorrow, weight is your friend. If you go to a pickup truck with a little bit of, you're not full and you don't have anything in the back, it's not going to be pretty.
You know, I found it really depends on where you go, though. This morning I did the same thing before I came down here to get gas, and it was full, but there was no line wrapped around it. Everybody was being great about it. And the pumps, though, I noticed were moving a little slow, like, uh-oh, am I getting the last drop here?
Yeah, I was worried last night. We got down to, several places got down to 2 or 3 degrees, and we've recovered a little bit. And we'll be, even tomorrow, we're only going to be in the teens with this snow.
Yeah. And John, we're looking at some photos, I guess some viewer photos maybe, that have been sent in, Taylor County before and after.
Yeah, John Humphreys told me one inch.
Okay, John Humphreys, he may have sent them in. Yep. Or no, that's
somebody else.
Cleve. Okay.
Yeah, but John told me
we
that
also
one
have
inch,
a collection of the empty store shelves. We're gonna punch that up here in just a little bit. So we'll be bringing that up here in just a little bit.
It's pretty funny. There's nothing. My friend told me they were at the Plainview Kroger, and there was this stalker that was putting all this sugar on, and everyone hoarded it, and they couldn't even get on the thing. They just grabbed all the sugar.
So we've got a video of a salt truck before the snow came down. If we could run that too as well. Now this was just a few hours ago today in the Highlands of Louisville. It gives you an idea that every little street they were looking at in the city, they were hitting it with salt. This was before even a snowflake came down.
I agree. They did a great job. Kudos to them. I mean, there's times when they don't put stuff out and you know what happens, but they're really on top of this.
Right. And, you know, again, it'll be harder for the crews to get on top of tomorrow because we're going to have a lot more snow out there.
Yeah, and tomorrow's more challenging south of Louisville. So if you're in KDOT, so you got snow now, you're going to get that out of there. But down in Barron County and Glasgow, that stuff's coming north. That's all sleet. And then it gets more complicated. They use a completely different mixture to deal with sleet.
Now, do you think this is our big January snowstorm? We always know we're going to get one.
Yes. This is it.
This is it.
This is it.
You don't see a surprise in February?
No. Not this big.
We had 70 degrees a few weeks ago.
Yes. We'll have snow in February, but we will not have this.
But because the setup of this was so interesting, dropping the cold Arctic air coming in and then it just coming out of the west.
About every 10 years, what Connie, you said was so right. I mean, it stretches from the East Coast, Washington, Baltimore, out to El Paso. That's a long way, folks.
Right. And I feel like yourself, meteorologists all over the country are just scratching their heads like, what in the world? How is this happening?
Yeah,
That's what we're hearing from
Oh, yeah,
the
and it just
Weather
keeps
Channel.
adjusting. New York City now is under a winter storm warning. I mean, the darn thing just keeps going and going. Well, everyone will be glad when it goes out to the Atlantic.
So before you came in here, you're actually forecasting for Canada. You do some work with the Canadian forecast. And we've heard so much about how this storm is going to go up and cripple the Northeast. Is that still on track to happen? What are you viewing?
Yeah, Philadelphia's in trouble. New York City's in trouble. Boston's in trouble. Newark's in trouble. This is a large-scale event. The only places that are missing this, I kind of feel sorry. It's ironic to say this, but the Colorado and Wyoming and Utah ski slopes, they don't have no snow. They're making snow, but they have missed the big snow this year.
Yeah. Well, Paoli, as you said.
Paoli Peaks.
They hardly ever get, they're always wishing for more snow, right?
No, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
Georgetown, Indiana. We were just talking to the Indiana State Trooper up there. So take us through the day tomorrow, John, because I know later here in a little bit we're going to be breaking that down as well with Mallory Schnell. When we wake up in the morning, by the way, many church services are closed. You see the closings and delays already on the bottom of your screen here on Channel 11. And a lot of those things you're going to see a lot of churches there. There's Southern Star Baptist Church closed. Take us through the morning hours and how the day is going to progress tomorrow.
Yeah, so folks, everyone gets snow through evening. Overnight, if you're south of the parkways, you are going to have sleet overnight. It will increase all night long. If you are north of there, you're going to wake up to moderate to heavy snow in the Louisville metro. If you're in Corydon, if you're in Floyd's County, the Knobs, Sellersburg, if you're in Madison, it's all snow. All snow. And it's going to accumulate. And you may even have that word that Doug loves, thundersnow. We may see that. So it's going to accumulate an inch an hour in southern Indiana.
Don't throw me under the bus. Thundersnow is something to experience.
It's very rare, though, but Jim Cantori really likes it. But anyway, about an inch an hour across southern Indiana in the morning. If you notice with Mallory's maps, we've kind of split Louisville into two pieces. If you're south of the Watterson, you get a lot less, 5 to 10. If you're north of the Watterson, you're in the 10 to 12 plus. I love plus. And I think the winter will be, someone will get between 17 and 18 inches in southern Indiana up to Henry County.
Okay.
How are you ranking this so far with the snowfalls that you've been through? You weren't here for 94.
No. This is a typical, we get one of these about every 10 to 15 years. You might remember the one in E-Town in 2015. That would just kind of, we got snow, but nothing like that. Last year we got 10 inches. This is a top 10 snow event. And the thing about this event is so devastating because it goes on for thousands of miles.
And the cold, that's got to be a big part of it. That's my biggest concern for folks and you know, seniors that are living by themselves and just animals and kids being out in this when it's too cold.
Please take this really serious. In all seriousness, that's great, Connie, because we're going to be under an extreme cold warning again for Monday night. I guarantee it. I think you'll see some temperatures minus 15, especially in southern Indiana, maybe minus 20.
So go back to the traffic view that we have. I'd like to show that because as it's getting colder and colder, so far the roads look pretty well because they have traffic on them. The overnight hours are going to be really dicey.
Especially south of here. Yeah, if you're on the parkways, I would avoid the parkways like the plague tonight. I wouldn't go anywhere near 65 south of E-Town. If you're going to be driving, you're going to be going slow, and it's a white-knuckle drive. I'm telling you, it ain't going to be pretty. And then tomorrow morning, like Doug said, a lot of churches are closing in the morning or delaying. It will be tough going, especially basically north of Fort Knox up to Louisville, and especially in southern Indiana, Oldham County, Henry County. A lot of snow.
All right. Well, John, you know, we always appreciate everything that you have to say. You guys were just talking a minute ago about everything being gone at the grocery store and having trouble at the gas stations trying to get gas. And our Brooke Hash actually ran into that just a few minutes ago. Let's take a look.
This has never happened to me before, though I've heard all about it. Of course, we are in the midst of just the beginning of what's going to be a major winter system here. You can see the salt and the plow trucks out on the roads. This is the third gas station that I've gone to in the last 10 minutes because the first two were out of gas. So we're out in Middletown in the Louisville area of Kentucky, went to the first Thornton's and an IGA, and learned that when there's just a regular grocery bag on the pump, that apparently means the gas is out. Here I thought they were just like covering up their nozzles because it was cold. But that apparently is not the case, and a nice trucker who came up beside me told me that there was no gas. So this is the third place. This is what we are up against. So I hope that you don't run into the same situation, but do not let yourself get too with this impending storm that is starting to come in to the Kentucky-Anna area. Woo! That scared me. I'll see you guys on WHAS extended coverage throughout today being Saturday and tomorrow. A lot of us being put up in hotels to make sure we are there for you. Whew. Full tank of gas. I'm ready.